About the AFC South. So I think
there's a history in this league of
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So
I didn't want to make
finish
him the
this.
subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
you have no idea what song.
I have no idea which one it is.
It's a hot song right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Dutch Survival Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. So Jimmy called out last week, so I recapped some of the Mets, Juan Soto, Stanley Cup playoffs, and I think I called out the Knicks and the Cavs or something like that. I talked some basketball. So we were going to do the NFL schedule recap because it was released. And let's start with the Steelers, Jimmy. You start off in New York. It is Justin Fields playing against the Steelers. We don't know if it's Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So based on who you think may be the quarterback, could it be Mason? Could it be Will Howard? As someone that likes Ohio State, I think Will Howard could be a good quarterback under Mike Tomlin.
Could be.
So what are you thinking for your Steelers and where they could end up?
They always find a way to get above 500 and always find a way to sneak their way into playoffs. So, I mean, that's why I'm like so like conflicted, because it's like, is Rudolph or Howard going to be the quarterback, or is it they're going to get somebody? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think if Rodgers wanted to play, he'd make a decision, but it's Aaron Rodgers, and we know how he is, so it's like, who knows?
Yeah, that's why I was just like I'm so conflicted, but we'll see what happens.
All right, so let's say you play, let's say Mason Rudolph is the guy. He played under Tomlin for a while back, played some games in Tennessee. Pittsburgh versus the Jets. Who would win that first game?
Pittsburgh.
I figured that would be it.
I thought they take like the first game, because they usually like figure it out, like are decently in the first couple weeks, and then they, shit happens after.
Yeah, and the Jets always Jets.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sam Darnold is going to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh as a Seattle Seahawk.
I'll go with Seattle.
All right, so they're 1-1 on pace for 500 again. Mason Rudolph versus Drake May. Who would have the edge in this matchup?
Pittsburgh.
All right, so J.J. McCarthy, potential starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, coming into your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Actually, that's in Ireland.
Oh, that's right. That
one's in Ireland. Give me Minnesota.
All right, so they are 2-2. Then you have a bye after week 5. You play Cleveland.
Pittsburgh.
All right, another divisional game. We got the Steelers and the Bengals in Cincy Thursday night.
Bengals.
Interesting. So right now they are what? 3-3, 500.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this could be Aaron Rodgers versus the Packers. We don't know, but we're going to go as Mason Rudolph. Or you know what? Let's throw in Will Howard there. They're 3-3. Tomlin wants a wake-up call. We're going to go with Will Howard.
Pittsburgh.
All right, now this, we don't know. Could be Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Pittsburgh. All right, Pittsburgh Chargers.
Ooh. That's good. That one could be a toss-up. I don't know. I feel like they lost a little bit too much. The Chargers did. Give me Pittsburgh.
All right, Cincy goes to Pittsburgh this time around in Week 11.
Pittsburgh.
Chicago Bears.
See, the Bears are going to be good this year. Give me Pittsburgh.
Buffalo. Baltimore.
Was that Baltimore? Baltimore.
Yeah. Dolphins.
Pittsburgh. It'll be that November, December weather. Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, Miami has no shot.
Uh-huh.
In Detroit.
Detroit.
In Cleveland.
Pittsburgh.
And then you wrap it up in Pittsburgh against Baltimore.
What are we right now when before the last game?
Pittsburgh.
No, like what record wise?
Oh, let's see. 11-6.
So it'd be 10-7 if we lose. All right. That's on Baltimore. You know what? I'd probably say give us the win because they'll probably rest everyone. If they
At that point of the season.
If they get the number 1 seed or at least a top 2, they're gonna rest everyone. So give me Pittsburgh for the last one.
All right, so 11-6.
A lot of games could be toss-ups. It just depends on the quarterback situation.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Pittsburgh right now is we don't know who their guy is.
I feel like they are a quarterback away from winning.
Yeah.
And
at that point they were, yeah. And then at that point they were 3-3, so it kind of.
Well, because I think they could beat the Jets. They'll probably lose to Seattle unless they win the home opener. They'll win against the Patriots because I think Patriots still defensively is a little and offensively is And then, we're facing the Browns, we could beat the Browns. Or we're facing the Vikings, we could lose to the Vikings. And then we're facing the Browns. I think we should beat the Browns. 3-3 sounds pretty good to me going to week 7.
Yeah. And then if you make that quarterback change, that could be the wake-up call. So
it depends on it, but even before they get a quarterback, I mean, we still got plenty of time. Before,
oh, yeah, we're only in May.
Yeah, camp starts soon, but we'll see.
Yeah, Rodgers may be desperate at the end and be like, hey, I want to come play.
Maybe.
All right, so week 1, we play Washington. I think this is because I think we're going to split. I think we lose this one, being in Washington.
Week 1?
Yeah, I think we start 0-1. I truly do. Things could change, but the way Washington is playing at home the last few games, I mean, different year, but still, they've been playing good football at home.
Yeah.
Giants, Cowboys, I think, honestly, this game could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
It could go either way, just because you don't know what how Dallas is going to play, who's going to be on their team half the time. I think the Thanksgiving game was 2017? 27-20. It was a close game.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the Giants' veteran presence and our defense, I'm going with the Giants to win in week 2.
Okay.
But I don't think we sweep them. So we're going to lose. We're going to split between
so
Giants.
You're going to lose at home against them.
Yeah, we're going to split between Dallas and Washington.
Okay.
Giants and Chiefs, I think this could go either way, honestly. I think the Chiefs are going to fall. But just because it's Patrick Mahomes, they always find a way to win these games, especially it being Sunday night. Mm-hmm. So the Giants are going to be 1-2 after week 3. All right. Chargers, Giants, back-to-back home games. Again, I don't know how the Chargers are going to be this year just because they don't really have that many receivers and their running game looks different, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Giants sneak away with this game. They'll be 2-2.
Okay. I don't mind that.
All right, the Saints, I have no idea who their quarterback is going to be.
Yeah. Giants should easily win that game.
Yeah, so I think because of the quarterback situation, Giants are going to win this game. If you had to pick Russell Wilson or Tyler Shaw or whoever their QB is, you have to win that game. All right. Eagles, Giants. Eagles are going to win this game. I just have no confidence in beating Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just me. I think that's most people.
Yeah.
Giants, Broncos in Denver.
Ooh.
This game could go either way, and I only say that because I think Russell Wilson wants revenge.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I think the Giants win this, but by a field goal. I'm not going to give them much credit, but I'm going to say they win by a field goal. Giants, Eagles, this is where the sweep comes in.
Yeah, the Eagles, I think, win that, yeah.
Yeah, we ain't winning this game. Giants, Niners, somehow we always struggle with San Fran. Yeah, I see the Niners winning this.
Okay.
Giants, Bears. I don't know. This is another game because it depends how the momentum is
Yeah.
with Chicago. Because if Chicago loses one bad game, that's where they fall off.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm gonna go with the Giants on this one.
Okay.
Green Bay, the Giants. That's week 11. It will be cold. Both quarterbacks played in the cold. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Okay.
Giants, Lions. This one is going to be a blowout.
At least you admit it.
Giants, Patriots.
That's a good game.
It's going to be a good game. It could go either way. It could go down to the wire. But I'm going to go with the Patriots on this, but it's going to be like to the last second, maybe win by a field goal. So the Patriots, I have them winning this game.
Okay.
Then we get a bye.
Yep.
We beat Washington.
Okay.
All right, so Minnesota versus the Giants. Experienced quarterback versus rookie quarterback. Oh, boy. I don't know, because this could be different, because this is the second year we're playing them in a row. We have Cam Scatterbo. We have a good defensive team. Just because the Vikings have a rookie quarterback, and I don't know how he's going to perform yet, even though I think he could be solid. I'm going with the Giants to win this game.
All right.
Giants, Raiders, this could go either way.
Yep.
Because they have a new coach, new quarterback. But honestly, because of Geno, and I think he's still on that I'm proving people wrong tour, I'm going to go with the Raiders. So the Raiders are going to win that game. And the last game of the year, I think it could go either way if Dallas is in the playoffs and they rest people. But I feel like at this point of the year, Dallas may have something to prove, and they may want to not rest up anyone and just go on a momentum swing.
Right.
I got Dallas winning this, so let's see. We have the Giants at 7-10.
Okay, I don't mind that. Maybe they could lose a couple more games just because other teams, but we'll see.
Yeah, we don't really know the full details when it, but I like 7 wins.
Yeah, I don't mind 7 wins. That's not that bad.
I like 7 wins.
I say like 7 or 10 or 6 or 11.
Yeah, I see improvement. Not too big.
Yeah.
Lions we could look at. Green Bay we could look at. We're not going to go in depth, but I want to look at the Bengals and just to see how we like their schedule. Because I think last year starting 0-4 did do them harm to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
A game against Cleveland, they should win. They should beat Jacksonville.
Right.
Week 3 against Minnesota may be tough.
They'll lose Minnesota.
Denver, I think, could go either way.
They'll probably lose to Minnesota just because of they're in Denver, and also Denver got a lot better.
Yeah. Detroit, depending on how both quarterbacks play, could be
Detroit
a
kills
dogfight.
them.
But I do think Detroit kills that defense, but Burrow could also put up points. Will keep them in the game, like we saw last year. Green Bay could go either way, I think, but I think Green Bay playing at home makes a big difference.
I think it's the question mark of your defense because you guys are pushing your whole agenda on offense, and it's not going to be good when other teams, like let's just say the Ravens, are offensive happy, and they could score on you any single time they want. They got to put the Jets. The Jets can put up points. The Bears can put up points.
Chicago should be a lot better.
Chicago, the Ravens. I mean, there's teams in there that can put points on that defense.
Arizona, I don't think they have to worry about. Miami,
Miami, if Tua is healthy, and you still have Tyreek and you have Waddle, I think you're fine.
Yeah, but I think they have an easy start playing Cleveland and Jacksonville. It's just
they should
making those wins early.
It should go 2-0, but it wouldn't be surprising me if they drop both games just because of their offense and their defense.
Yeah, we've seen it in the past.
Yeah.
All right, we've been going over the schedule. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to talk some NBA and look at the West and the East and go over Game 2 for both teams.
Yeah.
We're going to take this quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. We got Dougie Saravo. We got Jimmy Drust. We will be right back.
Malibu at the diner bar at the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
Feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people,
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather.
I'll be looking for another job after this is over. I can tell you that.
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that
Why did Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So
Talk whatever we want.
it's sports? Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, Saravo Broadcast, and the Doug Saravo Show. We got Jimmy, we got Dougie, and the New York Knicks and Minnesota Timberwolves are down in their series as both the Pacers and Thunder both lead 1-0. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your 2024 MVP winner. So let's start with the Thunder first. They're up 1-0. Is it going to be much competition from Anthony Edwards and Minnesota, or do you think this is another series they're going to steamroll right past?
I don't know, because Minnesota had a little bit too much rest, maybe. And then it was weird how they did the schedule of the game. They played the game Sunday, I believe, and they started Tuesday.
Yeah, it was 3:30, and then they went to game one.
And it was and they started late in the game. But I would have gave them till Friday. Like today would have been game one. I would have started that game one just to give both teams rest. So I think it's more momentum towards OKC just because they've been playing, and while Wolves been sleeping, recovering.
Yeah.
So that could be another wake-up call for the Wolves. We'll see. I mean, if they can win game 2 tonight, and pretty much make a series tied, going back to Minnesota, we'll see.
Yeah, I think Minnesota. See, last year was a learning process. This year they're getting their groove on, but they're bringing in pieces. They brought in Dante. They brought in Julius. So they're not just relying on Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert. They're bringing surrounding talent that's going to help them in the long run. Yeah. So it's just a stepping stone, and eventually Minnesota will be one of those teams that will be at the top of the West, kind of the way the Thunder have been building for the last few years with Shai.
Yeah. I mean, Shai definitely deserves the MVP this year and everything. And I mean, if OKC could just stay that dominant, they could go win a championship. They have the team to do it this year.
Yeah, I agree. And we got to apologize for Jonathan because he called it 2 years ago, and I thought he was delusional. But...
No, because he said Shai, he said Chet, and once they started bringing talent in and everything, it was a different story. Even last year they were number one team, and they lost to, I forgot who they lost to, and it was Dallas. They lost to Dallas, and it was oh wow. This is a team on the rise, and they are. They're definitely, they could definitely go far. This is, they'll be the only. If one of them wins, it'll be the one of them will be winning a championship. It might win a championship for the first time ever.
Yeah, but Indy's one of them. I think the only team with the title is the Knicks.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. We have new blood for the NBA to win
But
championships.
we're gonna have definitely a new like champion like in the last like 5 years because Golden State's out, Denver's out,
Yeah, there hasn't been a repeat champion in the NBA.
Celtics are out. Yeah.
And I was going to bring this up. If the Thunder don't win it this year, do they maybe go try and get KD as like a reunion tour, or do they try and stay away from maybe his ego, his selfishness?
Stay away from that.
That's going to be something. I'd keep the core in place and not even worry about.
If you're
having
having success, by the team you have now, that you should have no problem going back to where you were. Because especially they were a 60 something win team, all by themselves, and they barely lost any games. And they barely lost any
games.
I mean, Denver's a good team because they are a veteran team, but they are so young and hungry. They want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they definitely are showing it. I don't think they don't need to go out there and get KD. I think they just stay away from that. Let somebody else deal with that problem.
Yeah, because you saw it with Phoenix. Phoenix fell apart. And
Phoenix made. I mean, it was great when you saw that. You had Chris Paul, Booker, and him there, but it didn't really make anything. I remember when Phoenix was on that crazy run with just Paul and Booker.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it all the way to the finals and then lost to a Giannis that was just being dominant. No one was stopping them.
Yeah, if you look at the Thunder's year-by-year record with their head coach, Mark Deneau and Shea, 22-50. Then they went 24-58, 40-22, 57-25. And this year they actually won 68 games, not 67, and only 14 losses. So this is a team that has been building without bringing in any big name besides Shea, who they traded
and that's
for.
Smart because you can hold on to them for a couple more years and go win the title.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, of course, you're going to sign Shea because Shea's your guy and also your moneymaker.
Yeah, Shea's the big guy. So
yeah, Shea's the face, the name and the face of that franchise right now.
Yeah, even though you got people who say he didn't deserve MVP, blah blah blah.
No, he definitely did. He carried that team to be number one and everything. He should have got it last year too, but Nikola Jokic was on a whole new level last year as well.
Yeah,
almost every triple-double almost every single game.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's no show without controversy. So I think the Pacers, they're truly exposing what the Knicks are. I know you disagree, but that was a tough game to lose.
It was tough, but the Knicks did give up at the end. I will give you that. But then this lucky bullshit happened.
Yeah, but in that aspect, when you're leading by that much, that's kind of tough.
Yeah, but they kept hitting threes. What's going to get you back in the game faster? You keep hitting threes.
I get that, but I don't know. On home court, I can understand if it happened in Indy.
Yeah.
But home court, the crowd behind you, that's a tough game. You're going to have to hope they're able to start fresh on Friday and not carry that into the next game.
We shall see. Thibodeau's going to change around a couple of things. First game's always going to be tough, just because you got to know what they're going to be running, what they're going to be changing, what they're going to be doing this. So they could. I'll be happy the series goes to 1-1 going into the Pacers. So I feel like we could take a game or two away from them. So only time's going to tell how the Knicks are going to be. Game 2 on Friday is going to be determination.
Yeah, because you don't want to go down 0-2. I know it takes 4 games to win.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go down 0-2 heading back to Indiana.
No.
Now, the Pacers are doing what they're supposed to do as a road team, and that's still at least 1 game.
Yeah. The Knicks have to lose. Yeah. Well, there's like I said last week about this. Knicks need to do the same thing as the Celtics. They need to still 1 or 2 games. So we'll see. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If they could take 1 more game, I can see the Knicks winning in 5. So hopefully I say.
Yeah, key word. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right, so I want to know something. I want to know if you agree with this controversy. Do you feel like, because a lot of people are like, yo, how did the Dallas Mavericks win the lottery? Do you feel like it was rigged because they traded away Luca, or do you just feel like, you know what, that's the way the lottery worked? Because if you noticed, Dallas Wings won the lottery. I mean, they were the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Mavericks win it, and they traded away Luca. So, do you feel like these lotteries are rigged, or it just happened to be?
No,
the
it could
Mavericks?
definitely be rigged, honestly, in their favor. Like it definitely could be rigged in like their favor. Like especially if you think I was looking at the thing too. I forgot what it was. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what like the thing was.
Oh, it was like when the Hornets traded away Chris Paul, then they get Anthony Davis.
Yes, and then Anthony Davis got traded to the Lakers and then got a Zion.
Yeah, I saw that
The other
too.
#1 pick. So I mean, maybe like in that trade little clause it says also receives #1 pick.
Could be.
Could be.
Because
I
I
mean,
would like to see how the ball, like for the NHL this year, we actually saw the lotto. Like we saw the balls drop. So,
I mean,
the NBA,
they won't do that because there's too much money brought into it and everything. That's why.
yeah. The
At least with
NBA,
hockey,
I
it's trying
feel
to make
like,
it fair.
because like I said, the difference between like the WNBA and the NBA is the NBA is all about the superstars. Like they want the big market teams to have the stars. Like no matter, like how am I trying to word it? Like I don't think you're gonna get money if not Cooper Cup,
Super flag.
if Cooper Flag went to the Washington Wizards. I don't
No.
think that would have helped their market either way.
No.
Whereas, yeah, if the Islanders or whoever, if Connor McDavid goes to a bad team, they're going to be better. I don't think Cooper Flag would have made a difference on the Wizards where he could have made a difference on Dallas.
Well, he's going to because you're going to have Kyrie, AD, Thompson, and you got him there now. That's going to change a whole lot. Like, they could jump up from being, like, a playing team that barely got in to an actual playoff team within 1 year. So it's going to be very, very interesting for them.
Because I think if you look at the teams that were bad, all right, let me look at it quick. Like San Antonio's up and coming. They're getting a second overall pick.
Well, they did it smart because they got De'Aaron Fox, they have Chris Paul still there, and then you have Wemby. That's all future.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could go, especially they had the #2 pick, oh my God, they're going to be fine.
Yeah. Like if he went to Charlotte, I don't think it would have made a big difference.
I don't know. You
Utah,
don't know
I don't
there.
think so. Washington,
No.
yeah. So the NBA draft lottery being rigged, I could see it because it's a different type of game and it's a different market.
Yeah.
So
different like atmosphere and everything.
yeah. But yeah, Cooper Flag is projected to go to the Dallas Mavericks, who jumped 10 spots.
And it's crazy. He was just like a rookie, like his rookie season, and he's already going to the NBA already.
Yeah, he took the jump.
Yeah,
which is
definitely did.
Big difference. All right, this has been another episode of the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We've been doing a lot of work with them, a lot of fun episodes talking about Colorado, the Dominican Republic. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, Serravo Broadcast, and the Doug Serravo Show. Dougie and Drust football podcast debuts in September, so we're looking forward to that. All right, Jimmy, who's going to win the Stanley Cup this year? Dallas, Edmonton, or Florida and Carolina?
I'm going to take a picture, a little thing out of your book. I'm going to go with Edmonton.
Yeah, they're hungry for more. Connor McDavid wants it. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a rematch of last year, but Edmonton comes out on top.
I think so, too.
Too bad it's not the Devils, but there's always next year.
Always next year.
All right, Jimmy, it's always a pleasure, and we'll see everybody next time.
Bye-bye.